Welcome back to Hollywood Buzzing, where the game never sleeps and neither do the headlines. And today's story? Well, buckle up, because the Indiana Fever just sent the WNBA into a frenzy with a single roster move that has everyone asking the same question. Is Caitlin Clark about to return? The Fever have officially released Kyra Lambert, and while most fans might brush that off as just another behind-the-scenes move, those who are paying close attention know that this could mean something huge is about to go down. Kyra barely got any minutes on the floor, just 1 minute across 2 games, to be exact, so her presence wasn't making waves. But the timing of this release? That's where things get interesting. Clark's absence has been the elephant in the room for weeks. She's been out with a groin injury since mid-July, and Fever fans have been checking injury reports and social media updates like it's a full-time job. But now, suddenly, with Indiana making a subtle but meaningful cut, the whispers are getting louder. Could Caitlin Clark be on her way back? There's more to this than just opening a spot on the bench. This isn't about making room for another backup or veteran role player. This feels like preparation, like clearing space at the table for someone who doesn't just bring star power, but fundamentally changes how the entire offense functions. We're talking about a player who commands double teams, forces defenses to stretch, and makes everyone around her better just by existing on the court. And let's face it, the Fever need her now more than ever. They're sitting 6th in the standings, which is impressive considering how rocky things started. But with their brutal upcoming schedule, Minnesota twice, Seattle, LA, Phoenix, it could all slip away without their biggest weapon. The question now isn't just if Clark returns, but when and how smart that return will be. Bringing her back against a powerhouse like Minnesota might seem bold, but it's also dangerous. That's not exactly a soft landing. That's a baptism by fire, and it could either light up the league or backfire completely. Still, desperation has a way of making bold choices look logical. And let's not ignore the circus around her. Clark isn't just a player. She's a phenomenon. Every game she misses becomes a headline. Every time her name trends, ticket sales spike. Her return wouldn't just shake up the Fever. It would shift the entire WNBA landscape. The league knows this. The broadcasters know this. ESPN is probably drafting segments right now. If you think this roster move is a coincidence, you're not paying attention. The league is hungry for a moment, and Clark's comeback is exactly that. But this isn't just about PR. This is about Indiana deciding that they can't afford to wait. With Sophie Cunningham's injury still raising questions, and the team struggling to find offensive consistency, bringing Clark back, even if she's not 100%, feels like a calculated risk. And fans? They're here for it. Fever Nation is refreshing X feeds, dissecting insider tweets, watching sideline footage in slow motion for signs of Clark jogging or warming up. Nobody's saying much officially, but the silence only adds fuel to the fire. And let's be honest, this fanbase has been through enough. Years of disappointment, mismanagement, and revolving door coaching has left them craving something. Anything that feels like momentum. And Clark, even at 80%, represents that spark. But not everyone's sold on the timing. Critics argue that rushing her back before she's fully healed is reckless, that Indiana could risk aggravating the injury and sabotaging their playoff hopes. And they're not wrong. But when you're hovering around 6th place and facing a gauntlet of top-tier teams, waiting feels like its own kind of gamble. What's wild is how fast the narrative is shifting. A few weeks ago, people were wondering if Clark might be shut down for the season. Now, the conversation is whether she'll return this week. All because of a roster cut that, on paper, means nothing, but in reality might mean everything. Behind closed doors, the Fever are scrambling. The pressure on head coach Stephanie White is mounting. The tension between her and the front office, led by Amber Cox, has been rumored for weeks. Some say they're not on the same page. One's trying to build for the future, the other's trying to survive the now. That conflict bleeds onto the court. Rotations look chaotic, player development feels stunted, and every close loss chips away at the fan base's patience. So bringing Clark back now isn't just about wins. It's about regaining control of the narrative. It's about proving that this team still has a plan and, more importantly, a future. And then there's Clark herself. Second year in the league, already the face of a franchise and, arguably, the face of the WNBA. She's not new to pressure. She's battled through hostile crowds, physical defenders, media scrutiny, and still found ways to dominate. If anyone can handle a comeback under the microscope, it's her. But the stakes are different now. Every minute she plays becomes a media event. Every shot is analyzed. Every game feels like a referendum on her greatness. And when you add that level of scrutiny to a body still recovering from injury, it becomes a high-wire act. That's what makes this next move so fascinating. If she returns and dominates, she cements herself as not just a star, but a legend in the making. If she struggles or re-aggravates the injury, the entire Fever organization will have to answer for it. That's the weight of Caitlin Clark. That's the risk of banking your franchise on one player. But make no mistake, the WNBA has done the same. This league needs a boost. Attendance is up when Clark plays. Merchandise sells out. National broadcasts draw more viewers. She is, in many ways, the engine driving the league's visibility right now. That's why this move, this small transaction, sent shockwaves across social media, because everyone knows what it could mean. And the deeper question nobody wants to ask is, what happens if she's not ready? What if this is all a smokescreen? What if Indiana's just trying to buy time, distract from their flaws, and generate buzz without actually pulling the trigger? Because, let's be real, cutting Lambert doesn't fix your front court. It doesn't magically heal Sophie Cunningham. It doesn't answer questions about rotations, leadership, or long-term vision. It just shifts focus. It says, look over here, something's happening, even if that something is still weeks away. And yet fans are choosing hope, because they have to. They've endured enough mediocrity to know that moments like this, where excitement and possibility are real, don't come around often. And when you've got a star like Clark, you go all in. You roll the dice. You bet on magic. So, whether she returns against Minnesota, LA, or Seattle doesn't matter. What matters is that it's coming. You can feel it. The league can feel it. The fans definitely feel it. And when that moment hits, the ripple effect won't stop at Indiana. Every team, every player, every arena she steps into will feel the energy shift. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. And this roster move? It was the starting gun. Now all we can do is wait for the explosion. Because make no mistake, when Caitlin Clark returns, and she will, it won't just be a basketball game. It'll be a moment, a spectacle, a cultural event, and Hollywood buzzing will be there for all of it.